Hello, everyone. Today we have another webinar about e-commerce SEO, how to drive traffic and sales from a Google search. So please, if you see me, if you hear me well, if sound and picture are good, just give us a plus in the chat and we'll start. Okay, so we can go on. By the way, in the end of this session, we will have questions and answer for a minute. So please, if you have any questions that come up to your mind while we have this presentation, just send me a message or just send it to the chat to my email, marketing@webmeridian.net, and we will answer to your question in the end of this webinar. Maybe we have 3 or 4 questions in the end. So if you really want to know more, just keep us posted. So let's start. Today, I will talk with my colleague, with our guest, Oleg Fediv. He is a senior Shopify developer, and I am like Webster Webmeridian, e-commerce expert and business development manager in this industry. So I won't talk much about myself. I have extensive experience for more than 6 years in this industry. I will let also Oleg to represent himself for a while.
Yeah, hi, my name is Oleg. I'm a Shopify expert. I've been working with e-commerce for a pretty long time and exclusively with the Shopify for about 7 years already. Through that time, I've been consulting a lot of different businesses on the websites and platforms to make it more efficient and maybe up to date with the modern challenges.
Nice to meet you again, Oleg, and let's get started. What we're gonna talk today. So we will cover 4 basic questions. What is the most important SEO factor in e-commerce? How can you compete with Amazon, eBay, in Google search or in other search engines? How to build the right structure for your online store, and WooCommerce, Magento, and what is wrong with Shopify SEO. Again, send me a message if you have any questions. And by the way, you will have the opportunity to have their complimentary SEO audit of your online store. It's absolutely free. If you even have it or don't have it, just to plan it, I will guide you. I will answer your questions, and we'll have like quick, also private Q&A session with you. Reply to my email, and let's get started. What is the most important SEO factors in e-commerce? Google goes to great lengths to keep the principles of its search engine's operation secret. There are over 200 factors in SEO. It's of course unofficially, but let's step by step go through this. These factors include technical aspect, content, authority, and behavior. In e-commerce, the most important factor is, what do you think? How do you think? Out of these 4, what is the main one? Let's go to the next slide. You will see. Let's just have a look at these queries. Men's white t-shirt and men's white V-neck t-shirt. You can see in the picture that depending on the context, you will have a different result, right? So input is very, very important. So here we have, like on the left side of the screen, 2 options, like 2 details. And on the right side of the screen, we have 3. We have V-neck in addition. And the result is totally different. If you see at the picture, you can understand that the appropriate output was related to the input. So how do you think? What is the most important factor in e-commerce? So 3, 2, 1. Yes. If you don't know, I'll just tell it's relevance. Everyone must know that the relevance is the most important for SEO. Users are accustomed to refining their queries to save time on searching. Of course, the search engine algorithms are definitely tuned to understand the user intent, ensuring that the most relevant pages are displayed to save users time and effort. Search engine users refine their queries in different ways. So as we have this example, for instance, some might search for a t-shirt, while others may look for a white t-shirt or a red t-shirt with a V-neck, or cotton, even color and material, eco, and so on. So because we have lots of different intentions, Google strives to generate search results that are most relevant to these queries. I hope you all are agree that relevance now, for you, it's obvious, is the most important thing and the most important factor for SEO in e-commerce, in SEO optimization. So 80% of all search queries are queries with second and higher level of detail. For example, just a t-shirt for men, it's very wide query, no specific terms, and 80% have like more specified. For example, print t-shirt, men XL, men's white, or even the third level, red V-neck t-shirt for men. Also, it can be fourth level, fifth level, if you add more and more specific options into your engine. For users, such queries are important and very helpful because they convey to the search engine what specifically user needs. Surely, if I'm really interested in a, let's say, red V-neck t-shirt, I want to see the result, red t-shirt with the V-neck, and see the stores. I don't need like blue t-shirt. I don't need like other shape of the neck, only the V side. Yeah. So it's really crucial to be relevant, have the relevant pages. Let's move on. The search engine understands this, let's say, input, this query, red V-neck t-shirt for men, and shows the result that most closely match the user's query. This way, the user quickly gets the most relevant information. Surely your website, your store must have the same vision, and you must be in this top. Google and Bing and other engines, they wanted to help you to raise up, but you need to follow the rules. Same rules as are on the picture right now represented. You must have the relevant title, relevant description, separate page and URL, and relevant content. And if you have all of this, it seems to be that you must be at the top. If you have any problems with that, and they may appear while you are working with your platform, we will help you to understand what to do with that, how to be on the top. So let's continue. For online store owners, especially the small ones, such queries provide an opportunity to quickly reach the top 10 positions on Google. Why? Because we have such a command, let's say, it calls all in title. All in title allows us to understand how many results throughout all the internet are represented according to specific input. So if you have more like wider, more detailed query, it will be less competition, right? For example, if red V-neck t-shirt for men, you can see on the right side of the screen, it's only about 845 results, but just a t-shirt for men, oh my God, it's over 1 million results. You cannot compete. Your page will not be represented there, even in like in top 1,000, top several thousand. So it's impossible to get the client from there. So again, less competition means faster reach the top 10, higher traffic, more sales, more income. How can you compete with Amazon, eBay, and other stores in Google search? Okay, you can see also at the right side of the screen that we prepared a picture for you that represents the difficulty to reach the top results according to the input. Let me read for you a while. Young online stores or those with a limited budget should focus on their SEO efforts on search queries with refinements, as these tend to have lower competition compared to high-frequency queries. 70% of all search traffic is generated by pages in the top 10. This is the best SEO strategy in e-commerce because 90% of all online stores either lack multi-level structures or contain serious technical errors. So again, you have a chance to reach the top 10 if you will have more specific query and you will accordingly work with them in the proper way. I don't know, maybe you have the skills or you will refer to the specialist. Anyway, if you need any consultation, if you need any questions or help from a side, you can always contact me on marketing@webmeridian.net, and we will help you to develop the SEO strategy, and you will be in the top. Let's talk in more details. What is the multi-level structures first? So a multi-level structures in e-commerce refers to an organized hierarchy of categories and subcategories within an online store. You can see on the right side of the screen that you have category, it's men t-shirt, subcategory men white t-shirt, and subcategory second level. Another like input additional details, we add in v-neck, so that another subcategory second level. So this structure helps users navigate their website efficiency by grouping products into various levels based on attributes like color, type, brand, or price. It can be also other attributes, just let's say up to 10 different details, 10 different levels, it's possible. So you can imagine how messy it can be if you don't know what to do with it. It enhances user experience by making it easier to find specific items and supports better SEO by creating a clear, logical path for search engines to crawl and index. Yes, for engine, it's easy to index you because they are like computers, like robots, but we must provide for them really natural background and foundation to easily index our page. It's not seems to be so easy from the first sight. Let me continue and you will see that later. Multi-level structures, how to build them. I will divide that in 4 different questions. First, we need search query research. Need some research first. Understand our target audience for our product. Second, we need to group it. Third one, we need to do this modeling to visualize the structure. And the 4, implement the structure. Maybe this is like the most complicated, need so much time and effort for that. You can see just also how it can look like grouping and modeling. Okay, yeah, about implementing, the most complicated one. Implementing, we can divide in 2 different things. First, functionality for creating categories and subcategories of various levels. Content management, metadata, SEO content such as description, frequently asked questions, etc. And product management. And the second thing is interlinking between subcategories. Can be menu or SEO filters. You can see like and dislike. I paid more attention on menu. It has dislike because menu it's really very old and needless right now to use this because it has only disadvantages. I can only imagine you have 60 different subcategories, so it can look disastrous. You will never succeed in your web platform if you still use the menu. So better to use SEO filters. That we talk about that right away. SEO filter. Okay, I can see some GIF images and videos here. Surely you will have all this presentation, including this videos that is here also highlighted in the screen on the left, and more detailed explanation after this webinar. I will share with you the absolutely free, so don't hesitate to check your inbox. So about SEO filters. SEO filters can generate separate indexable pages or subcategories for filtered result and organize interlinking between such pages. You can see the example how SEO filter works on your right. For example, we have different checkbox. We select what we'd like to display on the screen, and then we are interlinking to another pages with the result. So this is the feature of an online store that defines the conditions under which a user is directed to subcategories, as I just told you. All right, it's clear here, right? Let's go next.
Hello everyone, Webmeridian here.
The video. Okay, you will see that video a bit later. Let me continue the presentation. All right. Now we'll talk about more specific platforms and what can we do with SEO with the WooCommerce, Magento, and Shopify. I think also Oleg's part will be here as well. First, I'll continue that WooCommerce and Magento, they have ability to create subcategories of various levels, but Shopify doesn't have this ability. Also, if we add here like ready-made solutions that enable getting up SEO filters for WooCommerce and Magento, we can see that Shopify doesn't have this ability. And in the end, what we have, WooCommerce and Magento, they have a multi-level structure for an online store, and Shopify doesn't have it. Oleg, can you confirm that Shopify doesn't have it indeed?
Yes, indeed. Shopify does have some limitation on structuring as general as every platform, I suppose, has. But specifically for the Shopify, those limitations are connected to some kind of scheme of the URLs, unfortunately. And there is no kind of ability from the beginning to create a multi-level structure as it's usually is understood by amount of different folks. But there's always obviously a workaround for that situation that we can maybe describe a bit later. But yes, Shopify has that limitation, unfortunately.
We can also discuss later what we can do with that. And by the way, if you still have your questions that you would like to get answers at the end of the webinar, you still have time to send it to chat or to my email, as well as if you'd like to implement and correct your structure for your current online store, if you plan to build it from scratch, it's just your idea for now how to start the business, send me a message as well at marketing@webmeridian.net, and I will guide you how to do that, and I will give you free advices for the beginning. Okay, and we move on. Shopify and multi-level structure. So Shopify's default setting do not support the creation of sub-collections. Unlike platforms like Magento and WordPress, which allow for a more complex and SEO-friendly structure, Shopify falls short in this area. The most straightforward method is to create separate collections that group products using tags or sub-collections. But this approach has several drawbacks that negatively impact SEO. I think we will talk about them also right now, later on after this slide. So first issue is lack of URL hierarchy. The major drawback is the lack of URL hierarchy between Shopify categories and subcategories. You can see the ideal structure, and Shopify creates not relevant, again, not appropriate, wrong structure that makes this, I think, a bit in trouble, right? Oleg, how do you think? What is going on here with the URL hierarchy with Shopify?
Well, in general, there is a collection set up in Shopify that is highly utilized, and there is always a possibility in that case to have a correct behavior to create other different collections that have parent-child relations, but that will not be somehow depicted in linking, unfortunately. But there is always such a thing as tags that allow to add like one more piece of URL that will be kind of a bit more specific in that case. Of course, it's it has to have some additional coding always, or it has to have utilizing some specific themes that have that coding already. And for SEO, unfortunately, there are some additional information that has to be generated for those tags that is not available in the admin part anywhere until there will be some additional coding for that.
Okay, I see. Thanks for clarification. But it's just the beginning. It's issue number 1. Now we'll have 3 more. Second one, about manual configuration issues. So this problem is about manual configuration. So you can imagine how you can manage a large online store with so many categories. It can be a disaster. Let's give you an example. A category like men t-shirt that we already been talking about could potentially have over 60 or even more subcategories based on attributes, like we also talking before, like color, style, size, sleeve lengths, like the neck, and so on. And managing that manually, it can be like a nightmare. So while Shopify views setting can help group collections with subcategories, it doesn't fully resolve this issue, especially in the larger stores. Yeah, so again, Shopify here has a bit troubles. I think we will go to the number 3, which is more interesting issue, and I'll give the word to Oleg to comment that. That is really, for me, it's not so obvious as the previous one. So I would like just to step here a bit longer for Oleg and talk more about internal linking issues with breadcrumbs. Maybe it sounds more technical, but I think Oleg will make it easier for us to understand what we're talking about, canonical and not canonical links. Oleg, please, can you describe it a little bit in more details? What is the problem here with Shopify?
Well, generally, breadcrumbs in Shopify might be formed in different ways, since the product, for example, product can be in multiple different collections, and it has to be treated properly. So correct setup of breadcrumbs is usually solved in a proper way of theme or by customization. However, it has to be a very specific flow for the customer. It has to be controlled properly in that case, and it has to collect proper information that is usually handy for providing a correct solution in the Shopify in the SEO aspect for correct linking as well, because those collections have to still remain collections. There will be links, there will be proper format and view of the breadcrumb, but there will be a little breakdown still in URL aspect, unfortunately, and it had to be covered with the proper theme and some additional custom coding as well.
So we must have it look really perfect to let SEO work in the proper way, right?
Correct. It has to be it has to be a bit more specific than usual for the different platforms, for example.
Yeah, thanks for that. Now we're going to the lead, but not last, but not the least issue, complicating with menu linking. You can see also on the right, the screen of the monitor. What about the menus here? To ensure that Shopify subcategories are properly detected and displayed by search engines, you must manage the internal links carefully. In Shopify, the only way to do this is by creating complex menu items and sub-menu items, which can make navigation cumbersome. Remember, just one category like men's t-shirt can have over 60 different subcategories. This can make your store's menu large, complex, and user unfriendly. Yeah, we've been talking about that before. Oleg, can you maybe have something in addition, and we will finish these issues with Shopify?
Well, the linking issue is not kind of a problem still for the menu, because menu can do all the links that you are going to input there. The thing is about the view and design, I suppose. That's, if you can see, there is a lot of, as you mentioned before, there's a lot of different levels, and that can be solved by different menu design with the steps, for example, with some additional hints that is kind of more a design aspect in that case. And but the links still remain the links.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for guiding us here. And I guess that, Oleg, now will be your start time for this slide. How can we create a multi-level structure through customizing Shopify? Because you are a Shopify expert about the customizing. We had some issues before. So what can we do to create a really multi-level Shopify store that is friendly, that is right hierarchy, good linking, configuration, and blah, 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 implementation management?
There are actually a couple of ways to do that. The main is, well, since the structure of Shopify store itself is pretty static, as it was mentioned before, there is always a way to do some coding with the different URL parameters that will be added to the URL, and that will be swapped in the view, and with that specific parameters, there will be additional parsing to allow to show proper information in general. That is kind of one of the ways. There is always an ability to create an app for that as well. That's kind of different approach. And that app has to be coded, obviously, to treat URLs and display data based on what is set to the app. But creation of such an app is always pretty specific and is tricky, and it's kind of pretty long way to do things and to do workarounds to beat the limitations. But still, there will be limitations remaining to the app creation, since the will be like more flexible in hierarchy, but still there will be some proxy URL that has to be utilized all the time. It's not like a 100% solution, but it's one of the most acceptable, I think. And the last is, I suppose, a headless variant of the store, well, where you will be managing Shopify and treating Shopify only like the admin part, and everything else is all the website, all the structure and etc. is on some other hosting, and everything will be treated there. No theme, nothing like that, just the admin part of the Shopify.
Great, thanks. Now I have also a clearer understanding also for myself. Thanks a lot. If you need, not Oleg, but just I'm referring to all our audience, if you need to audit your website structure or implement the correct structure for your online store on Shopify, email me at marketing@webmeridian.net, and we will guide you through all the process how to do that. And now it's time for our questions and answers time. Let me just check my phone, and I will see if we have any questions from our audience. All right, we have some, and I need even to pick several from many, let's say. Okay, I'll read the first question to both of us, Oleg, me and you. why are individual product pages showing up for queries like chairs for office when my website has a separate category for chairs for office? I think, yeah, it's an interesting question. I think in your case, it can be like, sorry, just changed my screen. It can be multiple reasons. First, that separate category with all the chairs for offices can be created through dynamic URL, and its canonical URL can look like an URL of category with other chairs. In this case, this page won't be displayed in the search, and because of that, Google didn't find nothing more relevant than just a page card of the product. Second reason, that category with all the chairs for offices can have technical issues or attributes that forbid or just block from displaying this page into the Google search and indexing it. So I think that's the answer probably that can be here. All right, the second question. If a product has multiple options such as size and there is a separate category for product with size 52, is it possible in Shopify to configure the product display in that category so that users see size 52 product first? For example, the option relevant to the category. I don't know, Oleg, how do you think? Is it possible to?
Well, of course, it's possible to shift the view for different options that will be displayed in a different order. It's usually involves some custom coding, unfortunately, because themes are usually not providing this.
All right. And due to the lack of time, I select the last question and we will finish it. Okay, I'm planning to launch an online store for drop shipping. What platform should I use to build the website and what SEO strategy should I choose? I think that me and Oleg will have a different answer to this question because I am more specialized on an open source solution and he's more in Shopify stores. But any technologies and platforms has their pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages. And if you want to really fast start up your business with the minimal budgets, I think Shopify can be here a good option. But if you plan to extend it in the nearest future or in the farthest future into a really big business and huge marketplace, probably open source like Magento and WordPress can be a solution here as well. Yeah. Oleg, how do you think? Am I right or not?
Well, yes and no. Still, there is a lot of different platforms that can be really connected quickly to the store you're planning to open and to have that products flow to be set up correctly. There are a lot of different apps that connect, for example, to Amazon, to Google Shopping, like a lot of different options that allow to connect your store to the big sales platforms, and vice versa. You can use the app that called Marketplace as well to create your own marketplace.
And I would also advise the last thing regarding the SEO strategy for those who just plan to launch their business. I would advise to pay first time, like all the budget, like majority of budget invest into the queries or group queries with low competition rate for more specific queries with less competition. Because if you are new, it means your website is new. You cannot build the trust to Google at the beginning, and you cannot compete with Amazon, eBay, and etc. So you must find your unique way to be in the top. And unique way is your unique queries. Maybe that's the last advice here. All right, I think that's it. Thank you, Oleg, for this session. Thank you, our audience, for your patience and your time. If you have any questions, if you need this information and more answers, please message me at marketing@webmeridian.net. Drop me a line there, and we will guide you with my team about all the ways from the idea to the profit and ongoing maintenance and support, even if you have a existing business. And yeah, we'll rock it on. So thank you very much for this webinar. Thank you, Oleg, for coming here. And
Thank you for having me.
We will keep in touch with you guys.